Why the hell were you concerned about college basketball? Because Dickie V made you concerned.
Showtime, slam jam, dipsy-doo, dunkaroo.
The 80s, the 90s, Dickie V was everywhere.
I've never seen anything like it. It's a firestorm coming at you.
There's a new ESPN documentary about the life of Dickie V, Dick Vitale. Hall of Fame broadcaster Dick Vitale has been an announcer for ESPN college basketball for more than 40 years. Nick Nanton, the film's director, joins us live. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Doing very well. Well, first question right off the bat. Obviously, Dickie V has had his health problems over the last few years, specifically with cancer and some things with his voice. You're obviously close to the situation. How is he now, and what is his condition, and what is his prognosis for returning to the booth next year?
Yeah, I mean, so actually it's funny, I had dinner with him last night, and he's doing very well. He's still over talking a little bit, which wouldn't surprise anybody. But he's very optimistic about getting back, and he's so excited to get back to the booth. And if anyone can do it, it's definitely him.
You know, you traced him from all the way back to the beginning. I mean, he was with ESPN, I didn't realize, 1979. Its launch in 1979. And I wonder about the evolution of Dick Vitale. You know, what he was like when he first started, compared to the pop culture phenomenon that he turned into.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he got more comfortable with his role and his personality on air, and I think that he was encouraged. I think he was timid at first, but the more he acted like himself, the more the public, or more people reacted. Not everyone loves his style, of course, but he became that pop culture phenomenon because he was that sort of bombastic. That's really him. I mean, if you spend time with him, he constantly telling you stories, and he's just got a ton of energy and heart. And when I went back and interviewed, prior to his, what most people don't know, and I didn't know, prior to his ESPN career, he was a coach. Right. And he actually went from coaching middle school and high school all the way to the NBA in 7 years. And his middle school and high school players told me that he used to have some of those phrases back in the day as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that, a lot of it was just Dickie V was allowed to be more and more of Dickie V as he got more comfortable on the air. Yeah,
talk a little bit more about his background as a coach. I mean, that's a meteoric rise in 7 years. Did he win, was it back-to-back state titles, or I think I read in the notes?
Yeah, back-to-back state titles, never playing a home game. Their gym was like 4 walls with no bleachers. So pretty unbelievable, and he turned a football school into a basketball school very quickly, and he had, the guy really couldn't lose. I mean, he was on fire. Then he went to Rutgers, and then he went to University of Detroit, and where it really all ended for him in coaching, and which is great for all of us basketball fans get to watch him on ESPN now, was in the pros. And I think, Dick is an amazing motivator and recruiter, and that the recruitment part doesn't matter in the NBA, and he got so frustrated. He won so many games. You can see his series with his season, I think, with Rutgers, they went like 21-0. I mean, the guy just is a winner, and losing drove him nuts. So much that he complained so much about losing, he got fired. But yeah, he had a crazy meteoric rise, and as you would know from now watching him on TV, it makes sense. He's got a basketball IQ like nobody else, and not only is he entertaining, he can help people understand the game. The thing I like too so much, what I enjoyed about making the film, is it's not a basketball film. It's a film about a guy and his weaknesses, his frailties, his challenges, also his meteoric rise, and basketball just happens to be the backdrop.
You interviewed a real cross-section of people in sports, I mean, former players, athletes, announcers. What was the common thread in what people had to say about Dick Vitale?
That he's got incredible heart. He will do anything for you. And when he wants something from you, you're not going to get 1 text. You're not going to get 10 texts. You're going to get 20 texts and phone calls. And he's going to get money out of you for the V Foundation. But everybody just respects the fact that at his age, his drive still to raise, he's raised over $50 million for pediatric cancer research. And he is driven to do it. I mean, you look at his social media. I mean, he not a day day goes by and no matter what's happening in his life, he flips it around to try to get you to donate to the V Foundation. And I don't know many people who have been at it as long as he has that are still as tenacious about that. I mean, he's the most tenacious guy I think I've ever met in my life.
All right. Nick, thank you so much for the time. Congrats on the documentary. Check out ESPN for more on Dickie V, and you can find Nick on his website and social media. We'll be back after this.